Hello, welcome to my Be More CEO is the video I'm going for. This was meant to be a live. Let's get over it. It was some technical issues, caused me some stress this morning, but we're here now. And you're here because you know that in your business, you are more operator than you are owner. So let's try and see what we can do about alleviating some of that to be able to bring you into a more of a CEO type level. So let me just share my screen down here quickly with you. Again, apologies. This is not ideal, but it'll do for now. You get the point. We've got an evolution that we need to go through, and let me just paint a picture for you. Currently, you're in your client's business. You're spending a lot of time here. That's causing you a lot of problems because now you've got the frustration of time. Time is being swallowed by you actually doing the work. Okay. You can only take on so many clients in that respect. That is causing an issue on your business and its potential growth. So there's another step that we need to move you to, and you would have heard this a lot, and that's for you to be working on. Don't know why that is like a pencil. I'll change that. So you're working on your business is a desired output. But for me, and from the clients that I talk to, this is not the end goal. This is not like the utopia, shall we say, because really the ultimate objective is to be working above your business. So that's a way of you being able to sit above, strategically moving the pieces and adjusting the business so that its potential is uncapped. So coming back to some of the issues that you'll be facing down here, you'll be reactive. That means every day is a fire drill. Every day is you looking at your email, picking up your phone and dealing with whatever's front of mind. Now, that's got a big effect on your business in terms of how you're able to service more clients, because now those projects that you had lined up now have to be moved back, delayed, pushed to someone else, because you now have to go and deal with this next number one problem. I touched on it already. Your time is now no longer yours. And I say this to everyone and part of these worksheets, which if you want these worksheets, please comment below CEO and I'll get them to you, is about planning your week. We need your week in a place where your week's already booked out, because if you don't book your week, someone else will. Okay. Other than this, we've got the fact that this is ultimately capping growth. There's nowhere you can move here. You might have already be doing 200,000, 300,000, maybe 400,000 or 500,000, but this is going to have a huge impact on whether you're able to break through that ceiling and be able to get to the sort of 7 figures and beyond. And big problem as well is the quality of your work. You're now swallowed. You're exhausted. You're beyond being able to control anything that's happening and be able to prospect anything. You're invoicing at night. These are all the things that are just compounding the problem. And really where we want to be is up here. So how do we move through those stages to be able to deliver us to the utopia, to where we want to be, where actually we've got some freedom back in our life. We're able to now plan our weeks, be able to get up and have some tasks that we're meant to do that day that are not being dictated by us as the client, but actually for our business. Serving clients is absolutely critical for the business to succeed, but for the business to grow and move beyond that, it needs to be looking at more than just its servicing. One step I'll take all my clients through, and like I say, I won't do this in its entirety, but we work on this. This is the vision stuff. This is how do we look at your business, but making sure that we give it enough context that it gives us enough to do that week, that day. And you'll notice is that this vision only goes up to 3 years. I would say 3 years is optimally the maximum you can be looking at right now. Now, you will have your own goals, and those are for you personally, and possibly the business supplements them. So you might be looking in 10 years' time. You might be even looking in 5 years' time. I want to exit in 5 years. Okay. But we need to know what's the more immediate goals, because if we can work this down to a year, don't forget the world changes a lot as well, as we've seen in more recent times. So that 3 years, we want to bring it back to a year. We want to now bring that back to what we've got to do in the next quarter, to bring that back to what are we doing this week. Now, by taking this longer term view, what we're doing is breaking down the big picture. We're now breaking it down into thirds. We're now breaking that 1/3 down into 4. Yeah. And you get where I'm coming from. We now got this one little piece, this one little chunk that we have to do this week. And if you're looking to remove yourself from your business, there'll be certain things you'll need to look at. And that's like the tasks that you're undertaking. How much time are they? What's the value to the business by removing you from doing said task, or from doing what you should be doing, which is concentrating on the business's top line. Yeah. That could be a new hire. If you really want to get to this area here, it's all about your new hires. It's all about having a trusted team around you, because you're going to have to, even if you're keeping yourself very mean and lean, you will need trusted people around you to be able to grow that business. And this is where a lot of the tasks, what I need to do this week, how am I going to do it, and actually how are you going to keep yourself healthy while you do that, comes down to the planning of the week. Now, technology issues, download the worksheet. Like I say, comment CEO and you'll get this worksheet and you'll see it in a lot more clearer detail than this. But what you'll see essentially is your week mapped out. I need you to be blocking out your tasks. I need you to be designing your perfect week that actually gives you time to be working on your business. Ultimately, let me get my highlighter pen out here, because this will be the big differentiator. If this is your whole week, the full 7 days, we need to be at least allowing 1 day, doesn't necessarily have to be a Monday, 1 day's worth of time where you are working on your business, or should we say above your business. Doesn't always have to happen on the same day. But I don't know about you, when I jump into tasks, so I'll block a task out here. If that next task after it is, say, let's just say I'm doing sales tasks, for example, and then I've got to move into an admin task, like that takes me a long time to shift over. So we have to make sure we're optimizing this, make sure that actually all my admin is going to be done in this block period here, and my sales days are 3 chunks of sales, and then possibly a little bit for yourself, because you're going to need to be able to free yourself up and be able to give yourself a little bit of time back. In this exercise alone, this is where we've got those 10 hours back, because now all of a sudden you're looking at your week and you're saying, look how much time I'm spending just doing admin. And why is all my admin being done at 8, 9 o'clock at night when I've got children to put to bed, or I should be spending time with the family, etc., etc. So let's build this out. I've included in the worksheet an example of one complete. This is just rough guide, really, just to see if there's anything in there that you're seeing that you could possibly do. But let's just make sure that we make it your own. And then we're building it down, breaking it down even further into your daily hit list. What are those 3 things, the big 3 that you need to do that day? Any other tasks are almost like a nice if you can get them done, good if you can, but not ultimately do or die, can always move to the next day. The big 3 for me has been a real big game changer, because it now means that I actually feel like I've been productive that day. I don't know how many of you have got those to-do lists that just go on and on and on, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. So to loop this back, there's just a couple of tactics that you can use. But we need to be setting tasks. We need to be setting ourselves, the goals. And a couple of pitfalls on that I just want to raise. Don't let's not take or copy other people's goals. I've been guilty of that. You know, people say, oh yeah, I want to be X. And I'm like, yeah, I want that. Actually, it doesn't really mean anything to me. And actually, when I talk to clients and they say, we want to get to, pick a nice big round figure, we want to get to 1 million. They don't work back to actually, how does that impact them? How does that impact on their life? What does it actually mean to the business, to them personally? Because if, you're doing £1 million worth of business, but only making £10,000 worth of profit, but yet you can do £300,000 worth of business and make 30 grand worth of profit, then I kind of know what area of the, what end of the spectrum I'd rather be in, because you're going to be taking on a hell of a lot of work for very, very little reward. So by doing this exercise of looking at the goals and actually how that breaks down, sorry, my poor handwriting, how that also becomes data. What's the figures on that? What does that look like? If you're running a electrical business at the moment and most of your business is rewiring, and actually that's a huge chunk of your business, then I would be wanting to know, well, what's the levels on that? What's the margins on that? How much of that time does it take? How many of those would you need to be able to supplement your business at the moment? And is that an area that you see as growing? Is that an area where you pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 worth of contracts of those, and then all of a sudden you're not doing the work anymore? You're getting someone else to do it. So that's a little bit of a way of just being able to break those contracts down, look at them in a slightly different way, and get clear on your profit levels. Yeah, that's what all I want to know. We want to make sure that what we're targeting is achievable, but also ties into the data that you have at your disposal at the moment and anywhere that you'd like to get to. So 3 takeaways there I would really like you to do here is to, and maybe if I stop sharing my screen so you can see me. So the top 3 there is we need to be setting some vision, some goals, some what am I going to be in 3 years? What am I going to be in a year? What's the business going to look like? What do I need to do in the next quarter to make those happen? And then what do I need to do this week, this month to make sure that this is not me running around like a headless chicken? It's by doing that and getting that data, sorry, let me just reiterate, that's because we're removing the emotion. We're now using data to drive our decisions, not necessarily what we feel is best, but actually what is working in the business. We need to optimize our week, to optimize our performance, to also highlight to us what areas of our business we're spending far too much time in and what areas we need to look to remove. I had this explained best to me in the way of the idea of employing a cleaner to clean your house. You might be doing it yourself and you might say, my house takes 3 hours. Okay, I've plucked that figure, depending on how big your house is, obviously. 3 hours to clean it top to bottom. Now, if your hourlies and your hourly rate is, say, £50 an hour, that's £150 that you might say, well, actually, I've saved myself. Or even if you looked at how much would you pay a cleaner, £10 an hour, £15 an hour, whatever it might be, I've saved myself £30 that I'd have to pay someone else. Well, actually, no, you've actually cost yourself £120 because of the time that you spent doing those other tasks that you should not be doing. So by optimizing your week, optimizing your performance, you should, in retrospect, be looking at it and going, okay, well, that might cost me £20 an hour to get someone to do that task at 2 hours a week. But actually, that frees up half my day of writing invoicing, chasing invoices, administrative tasks, booking jobs, stuff like that, which can be moved and actually can be safely moved over, and you can write out exactly what you're doing to move those over to those people and to move you into that area where you're actually focusing on growth. So you're looking at those key areas, you're looking at what you're doing that day, that week, and that quarter, really. So that's it from me. This is my Be a CEO, and you can see some of the worksheets there. If you found it useful, I'd love you to drop a comment below. If you want the worksheets, I'd also like you to drop the, is it acronym? I don't know, CEO below in the comment and I'll send that to you. If you're watching it for the first time live, if you're watching it a couple of times in, you've got any questions, please do drop those in. I'll be sending you the link. You can download the worksheets. You can work on these yourself. And I'll be really interested in hearing your results. I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Enjoy your day.